All right, we are set and ready to get qualifying underway here at the Freedom Factory for the UARA National Tour. Coming up on the Speedway, our first three competitors out of Miami, Florida in the Karts Cafe, Chad Pierce Motorsports Generators number 82 of Chris McIntyre, former winner of our non-qualifiers race for the Bigley Memorial back at 417 a few years ago. Also going to have the number 24 out of Bartow, Florida, the Tommy's Lawn Care First Place Auto Sales Affordable Screen Printing Lake Region High School AMF chassis number 24 of Chase King. And then the 0X out of Newport Richey, Florida, the Niagara Concrete Ingram Motorsports Toyota, making his first ever UARA National start. This is Ryan Walters. Quick time so far belongs to the 24 of Chase King, 15.634. 15.634. McIntyre's best time, 16.181. Ryan Walters goes quick time, 15.546. 15.546. Coming by to see the checkered flag this final time. For the 24 of King, young driver out of Bartow, 7 starts this year at Auburndale. With 1 top 5 finish, came in 5th last year, one of our Pro Truck events here at the Freedom Factory. And so far, it'll be the 0X of Ryan Walters' quick time with a lap of 15.456. These practice order going to be reverse of what their qualifying times were, or excuse me, of their practice times. So you're going to get to see some of the faster cars kind of come out a little bit later on in these sessions. I got a little housekeeping item. If you are the owner of a black F-250 with a Florida Preserve license plate number MAP293, we need you to please make your way down to the Breezeway. Again, if you're the driver of a black F-250 with a Florida Preserve tag, license plate MAP293, we need you to make your way down to the Breezeway. There is a very interesting story awaiting you, and we'll dive into that here in a little bit as we get through qualifying. Next few cars out on the Speedway. Driver of the number 59 out of Jupiter, Florida, the Wood One DeMarisco Custom Trim Noble Service Center Chevrolet. It's the 59 of Dustin Dunn. Dunn currently a race engineer on the Hallmark Friesen Racing team in the Truck Series for Stuart Friesen. Also on track in the number 15 out of Naples, Florida, the QC Fleet Solutions LeMaster Insurance Agency Ford of Sean LeMaster. And then in the M57 out of Auburndale, Florida, the Brack Shack Bar and Grill, Springs Customs Designs, All-American Lawn and Home Maintenance, Patrick Moore Motorsports, number M7. That's Bray Holmes. Also brought to you by Four Season Synthetic Wallace Pressure Washing. And they reminded me it is a Chevy built motor, not a Chevy bought motor in that M57. So far, Dustin Dunn, quickest in this group, 15.182, 15.182. Bray Holmes, second quick, 15.320. See if anybody can pick it up here at the end. Final time by for Holmes. He'll slow down just a little bit. But right now, Dustin Dunn, Bray Holmes, Sean LeMaster, your top 3. They make their way down to the infield. We'll get you ready to roll with our next group. Next up, you're going to have driver out of Seminole, Florida in the Winter Circle Power Sports Chevrolet, the 9 of Rob Pardelow. Also going to have the 08 out of Lecanto, Florida, the Row Maintenance Elrod Motorsports number 08 of Tony Elrod, 9 career UARA national starts, including 2 top 10 finishes, a 7th place last year at Lebanon I-44 Speedway. And also on the Speedway, out of Land O'Lakes, Florida, the Luchetti Construction, RCP America, P1 Prince, BG, Sarens Cranes, Chevrolet, it's TJ DeCare. TJ's made 9 starts this year on the Cars Tour Pro Late Model Series with 2 top 5 finishes, including 7 top 10s and 9 starts. He won one of the late model stock twin 40s at Southern National Motorsports Park this year and had a pretty sporty year this year, as he's had 5 top 10s and 17 total starts this season. TJ back down here in Florida. Made 1 start in the Bigley Memorial, and happy to have him with us running here tonight. DeCare goes second quick, 15.240. Elrod goes third quick, 15.253. See what Partolo can do. Partolo's currently seventh quick, 15.539. And DeCare unable to pick up, but Tony Elrod does 15.154 quick time so far for the 08 of Tony Elrod. Big pickup there for the Lecanto, Florida driver who makes his 10th career UARA National start here tonight at the Freedom Factory. And Tony dialed in right there, as he will be the time to beat so far, as we have 9 cars that have qualified. Still some really, really good cars still to go, including driver out of Plant City, Florida, the Race Car Engineering, Pound for Law, Lansky Law Group, Ford of Colin Allman. Then you're also going to have the 17 driver out of Palmetto, the Martin Jewelers, Victory Digital Marketing, DeVito's Auto Repair, Grant Thormeyer Racing Chevrolet of Nick Neary. And also joining them on the Speedway, driver originally from Auburn, Washington, who hails out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the Magnus Performance Parts, Trax Land Development, 9D Creative Toyota of Tyler Tanner. Tyler Tanner in the 65. Late addition to our race here. Didn't see him on the original registry, but came walking into the pits last night, and he and his team were the first team I saw unloaded and working on their car. And he has put the work in, and he goes to the top of the board. 15.069 goes Tyler Tanner. Colin Allman third quick out of this group, 15.166. Getting right on that edge is who's going to be that first driver to get down into the 14-second bracket. We're right there. Neary sixth quick so far, 15.256, his best lap. And Tyler Tanner right now with a 15.069 is the time to beat, as we'll get ready to roll on for our next group of qualifiers as they get ready to head out. First out over the hill, you're going to see the number 22 out of Newport Richey, Florida, the Stephen K. Jonas Attorney Ford of Robert Jonas, making his first ever UARA National Tour start with us. And also on the Speedway in the number 28 out of Naples, Florida, the Wins Automotive Products, K. Langford Law Service, Fury Race Cars, HP Elite Racing Engines, number 28 of Dylan Bigley. And also on the Speedway, another driver pulling double duty tonight out of DeBary, Florida. In the right foot down, Motorsports Webster's Race Car Chevrolet, it's the 66 of Tim Sozio. Sozio 14th last year in the Bigley Memorial. Getting a jump behind the wheel of a super late model, coming off a 4th place finish at Cordele Motor Speedway in a pro late model last weekend. For Dylan Bigley, it's going to be a big event coming up later this year. In 8 previous Bigley Memorial starts, he's got 3 top 5 finishes, including a best finish of 4th back in 2016, back when the Bigley Memorial first started back here at the Freedom Factory. And Bigley is a former track champion at this facility. Right now, this group's got to be a little disappointed with their qualifying effort. Dylan Bigley, the fastest so far out of this group, 7th quick, 15.272. 15.272 as Robert Jonas goes off track, coming off of turn number 2. Couldn't get it woed up and get down into the infield. Got to stay off Cletus's grass. Them's one of the rules here. So Bigley and Sozio make their way in. It's still Tyler Tanner, 15.069, still the time to beat, but here come some heavy hitters. This driver led 109 of the 128 laps last year in the Bigley Memorial, came up just short out of Necedah, Wisconsin. The Walters Motorsports donate to help Bobby Gill Toyota. Former NASCAR Truck Series champion Johnny Sauter in the house with us here tonight. And making another UARA national start. He finished 9th earlier this year in Jennerstown at the Motor Mountain Masters, and also on the track from Pinellas Park, Florida in the 51N, the All-American Concrete Mitch Smith Auto Sales, number 51 of Stephen Nassy And you also have Bradenton's own, the number 30 of Jesse Dutilli, the Integrity Transmission, Carbone Dutilli Motorsports Chevrolet Dutilli. He is got a lot of work to do here in this session as he is 6 quick. Johnny Sauter goes quick time, 15.040. Stephen Nasse also goes 15.040. Identical lap times for Sauter and for Nasse. Doesn't get any closer than that. Dutilli will settle for 6th. 15.174, his best lap. But for Nasse and Sauter, identical lap time there with a lap of 15.040. That's the new mark to beat. As we get down to our final 5 qualifiers, these were the 5 fastest cars in practice earlier here this afternoon. In the Webster's race cars, right foot down Motorsports Chevrolet out of Brooksville, Florida, it's going to be Daniel Webster. Then out of Winter Haven in the Blackburns Barbecue, Francisco Collision, Hubbard Family Trucking, Olympus Roofing Chevrolet, it's George Gorham Jr. And our winner from last year's Bigley Memorial in the number 50 out of Groveland, Florida, the Cohen Law Group, Jet Nolan Motorsports, Fury Race Cars, Toyota, Jet Nolan. George Gorham Jr. making his return to the Freedom Factory. Good to see George back here with us. He is always fast everywhere he goes. Multi-track champion at pretty much any racetrack in the state of Florida. George has either won a track championship or definitely been to victory lane. He's going to certainly be somebody to keep an eye on. George Gorham Jr. goes 4th quick. Jet Nolan 11th. Daniel Webster 13th, so slowing down just a little bit. Coming to the checkered flag, final lap. And not able to improve. I just told, so Johnny Sauter, because he got the 15.040 first, he's going to get the tiebreaker right now to where he's going to have quick time. But what was even more impressive, Stephen Nasse ran a 15.040 on back-to-back laps. I mean, that is incredible. Final 2 qualifiers. First up, out of Naples, Florida, the Davidson Electric, Mike Garvey Racing, Drake Ready Mix, Universal Transmission Chevrolet, the number 14 of Michael Atwell, a former 2-time winner of the Bigley Memorial. Won it back-to-back years down at 417. He's got an incredible record in that event. He's competed in all of the UARA national races this year as he's competing for that championship. And also joining him on the speedway out of Fort Myers, Florida, the 4M Services Century 21 Curry Team Realty Ford of Michael Goddard. Goddard, a 5th place finish earlier this year at the Rattler 250. First time by, Michael Atwell goes 4th quick. 15.074. Goddard 5th quick, 15.125. Atwell picks it up here on lap number 2. 15.049 goes 3rd quick. Goddard unable to pick up on that last lap. Here they come, final time by. Does anybody have anything for Johnny Sauter? Atwell's going to slow down by about a 10th. Here comes Goddard to the line, and he will not improve either. So coming up just a little bit short, but the driver picking up right where he left off last November, dominated the Bigley Memorial, came up so close, just a little bit short, and came oh so close. Led 109 of the 128 laps and get things started here tonight. Your Fast 5, the 37 of Michael Goddard, 4th quickest, the 65 of Tyler Tanner. Michael Atwell is 3rd quick. Stephen Nasse 2nd quick. And quick time goes to the number 5 of Johnny Sauter. Johnny Sauter, your quick time. And congratulations there to Sauter. He and his team going to take home a $500 bonus for quick time. as it looks like we are wrapped up now through qualifying. We are going to take a brief break, a little quick break. Drivers or teams are going to come down, and they're going to be able to make some adjustments on the Sportsman cars. We've got opening ceremonies coming up here in just a little bit. We'll be back here at the Freedom Factory live from Bradenton, Florida. You're watching live on RacingAmerica.tv.
Hey, I'm Dylan Hart Jr. You're watching Racing America.